You're doing Ralfy here, Ralfy Customs. Thanks for joining me. We're about to go on a bit of a journey, so let's see what we're making and let's see how we do it. See that? Right. We've taken the covers off our Chris's Sporter. Excuse me. I ain't in Sporter as well. Clean as a fucking whistle, isn't it? Nice wheels, nice everything. What he's doing is mounting this rather massive SU carb, which I've bolted in place, and I've put my angle finder on his disc, zeroed it off, and then zeroed off this face. So I know that it's fucking up and down the right way, and these rubbers are going to hold it. They're fucking quite firm. What he needs though is a proper fucking bracket that goes off here to here, and from here to here. A bit like, we're going his box a bit, look. A bit like something that's like that. That's for a different model and a different carb, but that's what we're after. So that's what we're going to make. I'm going to take the carb off, and then we'll look at doing a bit of CAD. We need to cut an hole that big, which is a fly cutter job, I think, or a boring bottle job or something similar. So we'll have to do it on the milling machine, and so on and so fucking forth. So we're going to make him a nice little standoff plate. Okay, we've got that off, and Chris has kindly provided a nice gasket which we can use. Yeah, there's a template, and we can see that these bolts, these bolts, this end, well, both ends are a fucking mile away. Look, so we're either going to have to dog leg this, which I'm not sure about, or do a standoff here with a thing, which again I'm not sure about. In my head, I've got a square plate-ish with bits coming off tastefully to these holes, so it's not like an hanging fucking monkey with his mouth open. It's going to be a fucking monumental bracket, no matter how we do it. We could go off here and up, but I'm not sure about that either. Decisions. There you go, that'll do it, look. Yeah. Anyway, we have marked out through, for the aid of our trusty little ball peen, we've marked through where the flange is. We've got 2 bolt holes in the bolt holes, so we can kind of project from there, can't we? Righto. So we've reshaped. This is version 2.0 in the CAD, in the cardboard aided design. We need that big hole, and we need to slot these holes. I'm not happy about this fat end. I might bring it slimmer. Don't know. I can't get my head around it, but I don't want it too thin here because it'll fucking snap, won't it? I don't want it too thick there because it looks shit. So, don't know. Maybe doggy bone. No, I don't want a doggy bone. Anyway, there's the 5, 6 mounting holes. So we can cut a bit of plate now using this as a template, and we can machine out the big throat hole and drill the 6 holes. And I'm going to slot these end ones to give it a bit of fucking movability. Like, it's just joining the dots up that I'm not happy with. Let's see how it fucking works out. Okay, so I'm going to start with a regular size, regular shape. So a rectangle, I'm going to cut a rectangle out, and I've worked out the size here. It's 185 by 90 or something like that. So I'm going to cut this out and clean it up. I've scribed a line, look. And then I'm going to mark where the big hole is. That's my worry, is cutting the big hole. It's got to be a milling machine and a boring head or something to get that. I've got nothing like that size in a hole saw, or, you know, that sort of regular, how you cut an hole in sheet metal. Well, 3mm plate it is, actually. It needs to be sturdy, don't it? So we're going to emulate this, but nicer is really what we're doing, isn't it? With the thickness and the curves and the fucking, that's for a different car and a different bike, like, but you get a picture. And that's made in China, look, fucking happy days. So yeah, I'll get that cut out. I'll try and work out where the fucking hole is. Well, I will work out where this big hole is. I've got no choice but to work that out. And then look at how we're going to cut that out and go from there. Right, so we're over at the Bridgeport. I've done a pilot drill. We've marked it all out, worked it all out. There's no dramas there, like. What I'm fucking just going to change this drill bit out. What I'm not so au fait about is, that's not going to fit, is it? Need to drop the fucking table down a bit. Hold on. Let me just pull you out a bit. Look, we'll drop this down. What I'm not au fait about is I need you a 45mm fucking hole, which is a big hole, and a bit of 3mm plate, like, so. We'll get this blacksmith drill in. Yeah, you can still see that kind of like so. We'll get this drilled. Once we've done this one, we will work our way up to the biggest drill that I've got that's reasonable to fucking use, which is going to be this big 20-odd-mil. I've got a 30mm, but I think it might be too long to fit in place, like, so. We'll swap that 14 out for it. What's this? 22. Basically, I don't want to be using the boring bar. It's going to be a lot of cuts if I'm going from 22 to 45. You know, a mil at a time. If that. So I want to try and drill the biggest hole I can. We'll get this done. I'll probably switch that out, I think. Let's see if I can get me massive 30mm in there and go from there. Righto, so we are boring. We're boring. I've drilled it out to the biggest hole I've got. We're using the boring bar and we're not fucking about. We are going one full turn of the Allen key. We've got a go no go with a 45mm. You can see we've got quite some way to fucking go. So we'll touch off, auto feed, and it's a nice chunky fucking cut with a carbide bit. I don't mind telling you. And there we go. I'm sorted. Rinse and repeat. Sorry about that, banging the camera. Righto, pot pickers, last cut time. Just take a little slice out just to finish it off. Nice and steady. Waste your blows, Captain. Come on. There we go. Fucking some of the swarf's interesting. You won't want much of that in your eye, would you? You know what I mean? You stand well back. Don't panic! And there we go. Wait for that to get right through. Yeah, sorted. The auto feed will knock off, which you should hear a click. You might not. Come on. There we go. Feed that up. Bang the brakes on. And that should now be at least, I'm aiming for just a bit bigger. What we got? Let's have a look. 45 on the carb in the inlet. And that's 45 point. Fucking hell. 0.14. 45 and a bit. So we're happy days there. I might give it just a little bit more. I think I will actually. Just, we don't want to fuck up his intake flow because the alignment's off a little bit, do we? So, you know, this might not sit exactly centered. Although we'll drill the holes out next with a milling machine, so it shouldn't be too far out. A bit of lube. and that will definitely and absolutely do it. So that's sorted. What I'll do now, I'll pick up these 4 holes that I've marked, drill those out. They are 5/16, so I'm going to go with a 8 or an even 8.5 mil to give us a bit of sloppy joes like. Then we'll look at the ones on the end, on either end, and we'll slot those. We'll move things around a little bit and get on those. So we're just on the last one. That's one of those 4 mounting holes. And then, like I say, we'll rejig it, like we'll clamp it back up, and we'll drill and slot the two other holes that go into the cylinders, don't they? That's where they go. So there you go. That's the middle of it done. So now we'll fuck it off one way or another. We'll use a wibbly wobbly to centre up on one of the holes, and we'll drill and slot those mounting holes. Probably off camera, to be fair. Righto. So we've got an M mill, 8mm M mill, which will give us a bit of clearance on them 5/16 bolts. And what we're going to do is just nibble it through. It's a slot drill, you know, so it's made for punching through. But we need to be gentle with it. I don't want to snap it off in the job, like, do I? I don't want to fuck it up for the sake of a bit of lube and a bit of taking your time. Oh, now that's broke through, I'm going to wind it. I'm going to give myself a couple of mil each way. So, it sounds a bit gnarly, but it's just thin. It's 3mm sheet, isn't it? So don't worry about that. Scream if you want to go faster. So 2mm one way. Get out, brush that swarf off, so let the dog see the rabbit. 2mm this way. Come on. And there we go. And Bob's your auntie. There's your slot. Sorted. And there we have it, look. So it's bolted up. The hole's got a clearance for his inlet. Everything lines up. So far, so fucking good. They line up. Yeah. What I'm going to do now is chop this out, shape it, bend it, and then it should reappear to your eyes as a shaped and fettled and finished, hopefully, bracket, as if by magic. Ta-da! There we go. It's just springy, which is what we want. So it'll all clamp up. It stands off a little bit. I feel, look, it's loose. But when you tighten it down, it'll push this fucking inlet manifold in and hold it in place. So I'll get that shot blasted off, media blasted, I should say, in my cabinet, and then bolt it all up with the carburetor in place. I think these bolts are too long. I'm not going to cut them down. They're not mine to do that with. So that's one job off the list. Like so. So, that's media blasted. These bolts are a bit long, but there's a bit of spring in it. That'll pull back nice. And I've bolted up fucking Johnny Rock. That is, man, that is as solid as needs be. Now we're going to look at the front brake that's not working. And try and address an issue with the side stand that's seems a bit short or too much of an angle and just wants to fucking close all the time. I'm not sure if that's how these are. Not that familiar, to be fair, like, but I'll have a look. Right, and we have rolled the brakes through. Wait, look at that action. We've done that. We've looked at the side stand, and I can't fucking come up with a solution. I think it's by design. It's a flicker up a light. I can't see there's any other way that the spring's going to work, because it pulls off the back of the fucking stand. Both the brackets for the spring are behind the stand, so it's going to pull backwards, not forwards, like, you know. And then it's the stop there, and it don't tuck up properly, and it's a bit fucking short when you're on it. The only thing I could do is bend it and bend it down, but it's going to hit the ground, you know. It's going to be right in the fucking way then. I think to make a longer one, and maybe this portion. Sorry, I'm not showing you very well. This bit here, where it catches, that's ground out more or something, so that it closes up. It don't actually fit properly. The spring's loose at that as well. I mean, fucking loose, look. So, I think it's the wrong stand. I really do. Oh, that's just shit, you know. Righto, so we're back on the old Motomartin. We've got two seem like impossible tasks at the minute, to be fair. I've got to try and work out a way to mount the Speedo, which is not a fucking easy thing. And I've got to make this shorter and wider. So, wider at the back and shorter by about this fucking much. So, the problem being that once I do that, it's not going to fit on the frame anymore because it does actually wrap onto the frame like. So, that's going to be a testing fucking job. I'm going to have to make the whole thing wider or narrower or something to suit like. There we fucking go. Right, there's nothing for it. There's no other way that I can fucking think of making it work other than cutting it into fucking bits like. So, we've cut it into bits. We're going to keep the front like so. And that'll fit the frame. And then the back's going to be how the back's going to fucking be like. It's going to end up a bit of a Frankenstein seat like, but you know, we'll get it smooth and finished and not looking too bad. Okay, so with the fronts tacked up, I'm going to weight on, look, finger on. We're going to cut a piece that fits in there, in this slopey bit. And then we're going to have to sort these ends out because they're not quite even now. And it's not flat like, so obviously it's splayed. So we're probably gonna get this piece in and then get a piece in there and then cut the end off and put a new end on. I think is about the best way to do it like. So we cut a slither, look, and we've formed it into a curve using the pipe anvil. You know, faithful. There's a video in my collection of me search pipe anvil. You'll see how we made it, how we use it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to tack it at the top and I'm going to pull it about and fucking get it to fit better as I move down with my tacks and then trim it up accordingly. And now that's done, we've curved another piece, look, made a curve. I'm going to cut a slice to fit in here and continue our way rearward. Yeah, and there we fucking go, like one fucking very Frankenstein fucking seat base fucking thing. Don't know what you call it. I'm going to weldy and sandy, and then we'll look at adapting the frame or something to try and make it fit on like. Righto, I've jumped the gun a bit, thinking that this was about there. I thought we'd just have to do these sides to balance them out like. And there you go, but that is not the case because we've got to try and mount that fucker in the fucking hump. So something probably like that, I'm thinking, which means that these sides, look, these need to be built up to cover it, and then we need to make some kind of fucking bracketry, like a box type affair that's going to fucking, that battery's going to sit in, don't we? With the leads coming out, like, so that's a fucking job in itself, isn't it? There you go. Right, so what I reckon is I can go inch and a half, inch and a quarter, whatever, off here, and I'll follow that or make a shape up that's better somehow, you know. Just I need to cover the bulge that's going to be the battery, don't I? Really? Not ideal. Not sure how it's going to work out, but like I say, that fucking needs to fit in there, like so. So we'll see. Righto. Voiceover Ralfy here because the microphone's fucking haunted. I'm showing you that I trimmed that piece to suit, got it tacked in and levelled the bottom of the pan up at the same time. So that is all Frankenstein together, if you like. We need to repeat it on the other side. And at that stage, I wasn't sure how easily I could do that, to be fair, like. So we want to make the other side the same as this one. Obviously, we'll weld it all up and clean it all up. And what I do to get any real imperfections out is go over to my piece of railroad track here. Look, use that as an anvil. And we tap and knock and tap and get things to line up properly as we weld it. And there we go. Look, I've killed it. It's having to lie down. There we have it. My folks. Wider at the back, shorter than it was. Still fits the frame at the front. And the sides come down low enough to cover the battery. So, got to flip it. And look at mounting the battery. Interesting, Mr. Bond. I also need to fuck about with the frame, so this is not going to do it. These need to come up and off or something, I don't know. They need chopping about and eating up and bending or something. We'll see. We'll see what's what. And there we go. Look, I've killed it. It's having to lie down. There we have it. My folks. Wider at the back, shorter than it was. Still fits the frame at the front. And the sides come down low enough to cover the battery. So, got to flip it. And look at mounting the battery. Interesting, Mr. Bond. I also need to fuck about with the frame, so this is not going to do it. These need to come up and off or something, I don't know. They need chopping about and eating up and bending or something. We'll see. We'll see what's what. Righto, pot pickers. So, we've done the sides, we've done the back, the rear. The reflection in that. What I need to do now is work out a way to hold the battery captive, like. And these fucking lithiums weigh nothing. So, it's not got to be over-engineered. I was thinking of making a box to properly encapsulate it. But I think I'm going to go with a stop here and a plate. And hold the plate, because it's not fucking going anywhere, like, you know. Bit of rub around it or a bit of foam here and there. And Bob's your answer. So I'm going to make a plate that fills this gap, I think, with 4 bolt holes somehow. And go from there. Right, quick lesson on holding angle line when you're cutting it in a bandsaw. I see a lot of people do it differently, but this is the fucking proper best way, like. Put these edges to the fixed vise. That way, it can't come loose. It can't move one way or the other. It's firmly held, and if you stack it, you could have 20 pieces in a row here, and it'll hold it firm and cut them all easily. If you try and do it any other way, if you try and do it this way, it can move, and it can jump, and when you cut in multiples, you're not gripping them all properly. So, that's my top tip for cutting on a bandsaw. For cutting on a bandsaw. Also, lift the blade before you start it, otherwise it can jump off the rollers if you've just seen, like. But there you go. That's how you hold angle line correctly when you're cutting it in a bandsaw. Righto, so we made the top half of the tray, if you like, that sits in, and I think I might be able to stop in the back. I mean, like I say, fucking hell, it's about the same as a fucking fag packet. So it's not going to try and throw itself down the fucking road at much of an opportunity. I'm almost tempted to just have a strap, but I think a plate would be better. So I'm going to cut a cardboard template and work out something about a plate. Now, I've got markings here, look, which is where the frame rails come. So we can't go above that, but we can go close to it, and that'll give it something to sit on. Give the seat base at the back there a little bit of support with some rubbers on the frame tube or whatever, like, you know. So that's neat. Okay, so we're making a lid, if you like, or an under tray, I guess you'd call it, to cover the battery up. I'm just going to get that. I've tacked it up, tried it on, it all fits. I'll tig along this seam and then look at fastening it somehow. I know I need to drill 2 holes here for grommets for the cables, maybe slot them out, not sure. And look at a couple of fixings either side. So we need to work on that. There you go. Right there, so we have made that tray with the holes in, look. And we've fitted these bits, look, so we could fit the battery like so, should Sir desire it. Yeah, and then just drop the whole fucking lot in. Like that. So now I need to figure out a way to fucking hold that in place, like. A couple of bolts or something, I don't fucking know. But we'll work something out. I don't fucking know. It sounds rough as fuck, doesn't it? I don't fucking know. What am I going to do? Weld it in, leave the battery there for life, put 2 leads on, poke them out, weld the fucker up, forget it. Like, no, that's not going to work. Bollocks. So there you go, a mixed bag indeed. Bit on the Sporter, bit on the Motomartin, little bit of engineering, mostly fabrication, welding, sanding, drilling holes and fucking about. If you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, follow along, check out my merchandise below, and have a great one. I'll see you on the next one. Lots of love, everyone.